Okay, here we are. Let's call the meeting to order at 6:34. Thank you all for attending. And these executive orders are winding down, although I think they're going to stretch them out for another couple of months. So anyway, call the meeting to order at 6:34. Let's first order on the agenda is to approve the minutes from the regular meeting held on April 27th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the April 27th, 2021 Selectmen's meeting.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we have a guest here as on our monthly meeting for our representative from Kent, Sherry Carlson, to give us and the town an update on COVID-19. So Sherry, the floor is yours. Thank you very much for coming.
Oh, no problem. Our daily case update this week is pretty good for Deep River. They had one over the last 7 days cases. The President's state daily test positivity rate is 2.77%. So based on those numbers, Deep River is doing really well. We completed a couple weeks of teen vaccine clinics where we opened it up and specialized it for 16 to 18, trying to get all of our schools and regions to be able to get their 16 to 18-year-olds vaccinated, especially the 17 and 18-year-olds, so they could finish strong and be able to participate in their end of school year activities. One important push, to remind everybody is that, if they get vaccinated and it's been 2 weeks since their second vaccine and somebody in school gets it, they don't have to miss out on anything. So the more that senior class gets vaccinated, the less likely anybody is going to be left out of anything. So we've really pushed that. We're really excited about tomorrow. We'll be watching the ACIP conference that will be voting on the extension of the Pfizer emergency use authorization down to the age of 12. And we are all ready to hit that running. We have sent out today our flyers and links to vaccinateourkids.com. It is, we'll vaccinate 12 and up. And we will be doing exclusively Pfizer for those clinics. We have easy link for them to sign up at. We certainly, it was going to be, we're of course trying to get the 12 to 15, but we have opened it up. It will not be restricted to anybody who's in school. We're really excited about it and hope that we can do this. Some of the outbreaks, the only omissions from school I'm seeing are kids in school, not a lot of businesses, still a lot of the unvaccinated age groups seeing the more need to self-isolate than other places. We have we have Wildwood Pediatrics on board, actually on the link, supporting and promoting our site for our 12 to 15 or 12 to 18-year-olds. And we are adding Shoreline Pediatrics as well as a sponsor for what we're doing there. We're at almost 24,000 total. And so next week, if everything goes with a green light on Wednesday, we'll be vaccinating kids Thursday, Friday. Saturday will be our 900 of a second dose Moderna. We'll be going on to Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then again next Saturday and Sunday. So lots of opportunities for kids on all ages, all days of the week. And our evenings are 3:15 to 8, 3:30 to 8. So, we do require parents or guardians to be there to sign the attestation that they are of age. Any questions or concerns, please let us know.
Wow, that's great. My big concern, and I haven't seen numbers for this week yet, but it seems as if the younger the person is, the less likely they are at this point to have already been vaccinated.
Correct. And We were at 50, today, we've determined that we were at 50% in the state of our youth that have received their first dose. So
That's great.
I've also completed any homebound requests on all our towns. First we went with J&J, and then last Friday I did the first dose of Pfizer for those people who still needed it. And last Thursday, I don't know if you heard, but we did the first menu option for people. They could come and get Pfizer, J&J, and Moderna, or hamburgers or hot dogs.
Yeah.
On the news.
Yeah, I was jealous because I came down early to get my shot, and if I didn't know that I was gonna get a hot dog, I wasn't waited.
But we did 400 people, and we did 48 towns, and 4 states were included in that.
Wow.
So it was kind of a neat way for people who struggled with, going through my chart, vans. It was just come and, it was a little bit more weight than our usual throughput, but people got to come, and it was easy for them, and they brought their car full of family. And so it was a good thing. And people who still wanted that one and done J&J were able to get it. I think J&J and Pfizer were our hit points. I did over 174 J&J.
Wow.
So, yep. So there was something for everybody. And, it was, like I said, it was open. We had 48 towns. So we felt that we hit and allowed anybody and everybody to come. So.
The ones that you said are coming up this week and next week and all that, that's not just specifically for kids, that's for everybody, or no, just the kids?
Well, no, this week, Thursday, Friday is really for the 12 to 18. We really want to focus on getting them in and out. When as everybody, right before this week, and that was one of the reasons we did the menu, is very difficult. We're starting to have difficulty filling a 300 or 500 dose clinic or appointment clinic. You can really literally get it everywhere. Not in our style, but you can get it lots of places. So everybody was having a hard time filling, and we're mass dispensing. We're not a CVS that does, and no offense, Walgreens, do 11 a day. That's great. And that's what we need for, to maintain this and for boosters and all that. But that's not what we're all about. So Moderna, we're really just moving on to the kids and with the mass, getting as many of them as we can, finishing up our second doses for all of them. And then we'll see what happens.
Jane Samuels, I have a question.
Okay, go ahead,
Yep.
Jane.
I know that the numbers are lower, but I wonder if, because so many people are vaccinated now, are they doing the same kind of numbers of testing?
Yeah, well, I don't know what the degree of testing is. They're probably doing less because once you're vaccinated and if you get exposed to somebody 2 weeks after your final vaccination, the guidance is that you do not have to test, you do not have to quarantine unless you become symptomatic based on that exposure, unless you're having symptoms. So, in the schools, they're still doing a lot of testing, and actually the state education department is working out some plans for doing pre-event testing, and pre-spring, coming back in the fall. So they're setting up some testing with the superintendents, but that's yet to be determined.
Second question.
That was a good question, Jane. And it leads right into one of my questions was really going to be if we could talk a little bit about just protocol right now after the governor loosened things up on May 1st and how that's going to change on May 20th, especially in our restaurants and businesses, as far as people going inside and masking more than anything.
Yep. I mean, the masking piece is not going to change. When people enter and exit, you know, they're going to 100% capacity. Your waitresses and people working will still continue to wear masks, as will patrons going in until they sit down and eat, or when they get up to go to the bathroom. That's all going to happen. We're seeing a little lax in that. I know some of our restaurant owners are having some problems. We've had some intake in some resident concerns about stores where they're going in and people have their masks off. So we need to really continue with that education of, we don't have herd immunity yet, although our area is probably one of the safest places in Connecticut. In our district, I think based on our percentage of vaccinations, I think that's a great selling point for your businesses and your tourism that come down to see us and, you know, enjoy the river and the shoreline. So.
Yeah, but the mask is still mandatory inside, even after May 20th.
Yep.
You still need to wear a mask until you get to your table if you're going to a restaurant.
Yep.
So, and in stores too, whenever you go into a shop, you still need to wear a mask when you're going in. That's a very important message. We're getting a lot of people coming now and who are really refusing to put masks on. And
yeah, I mean, outside is a whole, you know, if you're outside
different.
Walking, take
Yeah,
it, you know.
Yeah, no, outside is different. And I think that's important for people to understand. And that's why I wanted to ask and make sure I understood it clearly. That even when May 20th, when we open up 100% inside, doesn't mean 100% with no masks. It's masks. If you go inside, you have to have a mask on.
Yep.
I think Jane had another question.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, I do. You said something, you mentioned the word booster. Is that something that, I know this is way in the future, I hope.
Well, the short answer is that we don't know exactly. We do know, there's lots of talk about, yes, booster 6 months or a year after. That has not been, the guidance does not come out. They're looking into that. They're looking at the data. And that's where the future guidance comes from, is the evaluation of the guidance of the data. There's all kinds of different types of vaccine being developed right now. Some are needleless, some are, you know, pills and patches, and some they're trying to make a flu vaccine along together with a COVID vaccine. So lots of different research going on, but no definitive answers of when or how long.
Thank you very much.
That's the fun part of a new thing, right? We just gotta wait.
This is always changed every day, so just
Yep.
wait.
I think that's the frustration for a lot of people too, is you hear one message and then the next day that might change a little bit. But, you know, I'm very, very pleased. Number one, the work that you guys are doing down there is just tremendous.
It's amazing.
As far as getting people vaccinated, and it began with getting people tested. You know, you guys have done just tremendous work.
Well, thank you.
But
Just to put it in perspective a little bit, you know, we've all been involved with all of your towns in doing flu vaccines. And our average annual flu vaccines was 1,400. So that we're basically, you know, at least 15 years worth of flu vaccines.
yeah, right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the thing that I'm also very happy about is the last 4 weeks. You mentioned the last week. Deep River in the last 4 weeks has only had 4 cases. We had 1 week with 0, and that's really a big change from a month ago. We were up in almost in double digits every week. So this is a big switch, and I think the weather has a little bit to do with it. The vaccinations do too.
Yeah. The article on Valley Courier was very good when they broke down each town and all the percentages. I thought that was very, very interesting.
I'll have to look at it.
Yeah, it was in last week's Valley Courier.
Look at it. I don't have any other questions unless anybody else does.
No.
There is one question. Has there been any changes to camp regulations, like with masking and stuff?
Oh, there you go. Carol Jones, our Parks and Rec, is asking about mask requirements in camps. It was down to kids over 3, I think. Is that?
Yeah, I'd have to review that latest guidance on camps. I know it was ever evolving. So
Yeah,
Carol, I can certainly take that offline and we can review that together.
okay, that's great, thank you. Anything else? Sherry, keep it up, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay,
All right,
Great
thanks
work.
for all your support.
Thank you.
Good night.
okay. Next on the agenda, no, next item on the agenda is the audience of citizens. If there's any business to come before the board. I think we have two residents here today. Any questions, any thoughts?
Yes, Jane Samuels, I'll speak up again. I thought that the Board of Ed positions were going to be discussed.
They're not on the agenda, so they're not up for a discussion right now. We have a couple of people who have requested to be appointed. And it's become the practice of this board, and I think it's a good practice for each board member to reach out or to be contacted by the interested folks. We have not had those conversations yet, so we're not putting it, we're not ready to discuss this publicly yet.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anything else? Okay, hearing nothing. The next item on the agenda is a discussion of Plains Road and emergency vehicle access. As we're all aware, and something we need to continue to point out, Route 80 is going to be closing starting in June, or West Elm Street, whichever you want to call it, up by the Deep River Farms. The bridge there is going to be replaced starting on June 16th or 17th. That bridge is going to close both lanes. So there's going to be a detour down to Ivoryton, up to Essex, and then back up northerly. I don't even know the best way to go.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a detour. It's going to really going to clog things up for the course of the summer. It's not going to open up again until at the latest, I hope, is August 25th. In order to prepare for that, we have a town road, Plains Road, that's an unimproved town road that connects the, I'm going to call it the south side of the bridge to the north, to the Winthrop section. We're going to improve that a little bit. We're not going to widen it or pave it, make it a big town road, but we're going to improve it so that emergency vehicles can get through there. What I want to talk about is whether the Board of Selectmen agrees or disagrees or has thoughts on whether we should limit the access, make that not for through traffic, but for emergency vehicles or responders on their way to a call only, and put signage to that effect.
It's not wide enough for normal.
No.
Two-way, it's just, it never was designed for two ways.
Right. Right, and the amount of traffic that goes through there is going to jam that road up. If people start using that on a regular basis, it's going to get jammed up pretty quick. So my thought on it is what I just explained is, and I'd like you guys to pipe in.
I'm good with it. The only thing, I would like to see some police enforcement there.
Yep.
To make sure that people don't try to cut through there.
Yep.
Because
They will.
God forbid someone's cutting through there and an ambulance
Right.
call, and now it's just roadblock.
Yep.
So that's my biggest concern there.
Well, that's our thought too. We'll
Because
talk with the police.
after a few weeks or a month to get into July, people are gonna get upset because they have to drive an extra 3 miles.
Yeah.
And it's that one time that someone cuts through and there's an emergency.
Mhm.
That's my concern.
Well, it's mine too. And that's why I think we'll put signage up on both ways.
Even the paved part, when
It's not
when
wide
it goes
enough,
to paved at Majeski's, it's
Yeah.
fairly wide enough for two
Yeah.
people. It was just never, I don't know what the thought process
Horse
was
and buggy.
way back when,
Well,
horse and
those
buggy
were-
or whatever, but it was never designed for heavy traffic.
Well, if you look at Route 154, when it was designed and built, was a pretty narrow road. So I think that's important, and it sounds like we're all in agreement there.
I'm good with
We'll
it.
definitely put signage on. We'll definitely enforce it. And I don't want it to be through traffic after this is over either, because that's a dangerous intersection.
While the bridge is out, there is no traffic, so it won't be
Right.
an issue. But if,
Right.
like you said, once the bridge is done and people, oh, that's been improved, I'm gonna take a shortcut
Yeah,
over
no,
to one of
that's-
my farms or
If
something.
someone comes flying up around the corner there,
There's gonna be
bad corner.
there's a potential for a biggie.
Yeah, they're coming up over that hill and around the corner. There's no
By
visibility.
Jordan's house.
Yeah. Yeah, so, based on that, that's the decision here. We're going to improve it for emergency vehicles and emergency responders on their way to a call, not, just because you're driving an ambulance.
And I think it's up to the ambulance people, especially the firemen. They've got their lights.
Make sure their cars are marked.
Make sure their car is marked in some way, whether it be a light or whatever, so that if there is a police officer there, they can say, okay, you're cool.
Yeah.
Because there will be firemen that are responding, there'll be ambulance people, and I know, Jen, we talked earlier in the COVID meeting, that might be convenient at times, because Jen and Rich Homer are the ambulance. They might take the ambulance to their house just because they're home.
Right.
But that's a day by day, case by case situation. But the road's open, and it won't take up more than an extra minute to wind down through Plains and Bar Road to get where they're going.
And there are pros and cons to both sides of that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Angus, Jane Samuels, I go out there every day for my horse, and I agree, that can't be a road that's used by regular people.
No.
No, everybody just really has to use the detour.
And I gotta believe that most people don't know that that is a town road.
Oh, most folks don't even know it's
They don't even know it's there, let alone use it. So, that's it's already better because people don't know that it's there.
We
People are gonna-
shouldn't publicize
So
it too much.
let's
That's enough.
Yeah, it's, right.
But yeah, but we did need to talk about it. We need to talk about restricting it once we do improve it, because it is in fact a town road. So.
And because it's gonna be improved a little when the bridge is done.
Yep.
Then-
Well, that's what we don't want people to get in the habit.
Right,
Yeah.
and so after the bridge is done, then we have to maybe determine whether I don't know if there's even feasible to put a gate there or something. I don't know how we can, if you can or can't restrict it, because we don't want people to say, oh, I can use that road now.
Well, I think we'll address that. We'll address that when it
That's
comes.
something that'll have to be addressed in the fall.
Yeah.
or whatever.
We'll keep the signage there that says no through traffic.
Yep.
And we'll see if that's enough.
An update on the bridge, you will see some action out there this week.
Mhm.
They cleared and grubbed on Monday. They're gonna start excavating probably Thursday or Friday, pulling the stumps out.
Okay.
They have to make some pads, and they're gonna bring a crane in most likely next week and start driving some of the coffer dams that they can do now. That's not gonna affect the traffic.
Yeah.
That was the last update I had with the contractor.
There were a bunch of guys.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
There were a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
There was maybe 10 guys.
Yeah, well, they're gearing up.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, it's coming up.
Yeah. it's coming
Time
so
flies.
they're trying to get as much done without restricting the traffic right now.
Mhm.
So that's just an update.
Yeah, thank you. We'll expect those every couple of weeks. I appreciate your connection to that.
May I ask a question, Lori Giannotti?
Sure.
Thank you. It's just a quick one about Plains Road. When you say improve, what does that mean? Are we going to be putting a base course down that would be able to be paved later on? Are we just going to clear the brush away?
Yeah, that's not the intent, Lori, is to pave it later on. We're going to make it so it's safe and passable for the fire trucks and ambulances to get down it.
So not adding any gravel or base course, like anything
I
like
think it
that?
probably will be gravel and millings is what's going to go in the areas that are large potholes and ponds and things there, but not throughout. We're not going to I don't think we're planning on putting millings or gravel the whole length of the road. It's really just to make it safe and passable for these 2 months for the emergency vehicles.
Great, thank you.
Okay, that's that. And there's no real, should we take a vote on that? I don't think we need to. But it doesn't hurt to.
We all agree.
Yeah, why don't we take a vote on it if you want to, if we can get a motion to put signage and
Make the necessary improvements.
make the necessary improvements for emergency vehicles only and to make the road declare the road for emergency vehicles only, not for through traffic, and put the appropriate signage and enforcement in effect. Why don't
I make a motion, which.
What is that motion?
What you just said.
Yeah, okay.
I'll second the motion.
All right, thanks. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thanks. The last item on the agenda, we didn't notice that the Estuary Transit District representation is a 4-year term that ended last year, and it just slipped right past us. So I've been representing the town for the last 4 years plus, and prior to that, Dick was. It was just worked out. There are a few selectmen who are on there. I think it works out well for us. I like being on there, and we're working hard right now to expand that. It would be a shame to change horses in the middle of that stream. So I'd ask to be reappointed.
I'll make a motion to reappoint Angus McDonald to the Estuary Transit District for a 4-year term ending 1/1/2024.
I second that.
Thanks. All those in favor?
Aye.
And I'm an abstention on that one. Okay, that's it for the agenda. If anyone, we'll open up just a little bit more. If anyone has anything more to say or comments. I
Yeah. What horse were you on in this stream?
don't. Good question. Daisy May was her name. She was a little sway back.
You know what? That road that you're talking about, I'm not even sure I'd take my horse on that, let alone a car.
I took my car down it once a month, just so I could, pay attention to what was going on up there, and it's a tough road. So, all right, we'll take a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn at 7:01.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you, everybody, and thank you, everybody, for coming. There's nobody left.
They all left. Yep.